Hi guys, happy Monday. I guess it's afternoon now. Anyway, I just wanted to have a little Monday chat and do my makeup. And I hope you guys had a really great weekend. So I just thought I would do like a fairly quick cheetah hack. I haven't decided if I'm gonna put any eyeshadow on today, but definitely some bronzer. So I'm just gonna go through and do it fairly fast. I've got my Seint moisturizer cream on, and then I just did a little bit of contour in my brows and a bit of brow wax. So my brows are good for the day, and I'm just gonna get started. So I've got a little bit of redness going on, so I'm just going to minimize that a little, because who needs any extra redness? This is just Aspen contour with the smudge brush, which you could use your finger, you could use any brush you like really. I just like the control of it because it's nice and tiny, but dense and tight. And it's nice. So, and actually I think I'm gonna use that brush actually to put my contour on. So it's a nice thing. You can do like your fingers, you can use a brush, whatever suits you. Oh, my dog's gonna come in and say hi. Hi, Pippin. Oh, it's boring in here. She's out. And then just to minimize that a little, we don't need to talk about it. We just need to, you know, make that disappear. So little nose contour if you want. And again, this brush, if you're finding like you kind of struggle with a little bit of control when you're applying some of your contour and stuff, like using one of the smaller brushes might be helpful for you. And it depends on what you want for your application. Do you want like a stronger, like more intense coverage? Are you just looking for a little bit of like blending and all over, just to sort of bring it together, or polish, feel like you're polishing yourself up a little bit for the daily? Like we all kind of go after a little bit of a different reason, and that's totally fine. And that's what I love about this, is this makeup you can do a really full coverage, you can do a super light coverage, whatever floats your boat. This is a little bit of sunlit. So my main brightening shade is Linen here, but I'm dipping into Sunlit, which is a little more yellow high, and I'm just tapping it in there, and it just sort of helps to brighten. And I'm gonna blend that in almost at the end because I prefer the way that the sponge blends it in. So now I'm gonna go into sort of my main shade, and I'm just like what you would consider like your foundation, like your main sort of color. So these are all cream, and what I love is they're only like 11 to 16 ingredients per tin. So you're not putting a bunch of crap on your face, which is super. Hi Sheena, how are you? Happy Monday. So let's just tap that in, and then we'll blend it out. So I'm gonna use the buff brush, but you can use any of the brushes. You can even just use the Perfector, which in Canada is like 20, so it's a really great deal. You could just blend with that. And for the longest time before, when I first started not as an artist, but when I first started buying the makeup back in July, I was using a kabuki brush that I had, and I was like, oh, it's a really good brush. And it was a nice brush. And so I thought, well, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm investing in the makeup. I'm not gonna invest in the brushes. I don't need them, which is totally fine. You can use any brushes. But what I found was, you know, the makeup went on. I loved it, clearly. But then in the fall, when Seint, which it's called now, but it was called Mascara, when they rebranded, they redid all their brushes. And so their original brushes, the exact same brushes, but just renamed them. Sorry, I just have to make sure I'm getting that. Okay, let's move into the contour. So I go light to dark. I'm just leaving under my eyes because I'm gonna do it with the Beauty Blender. But they rebranded, and when they did that, they sold a bunch of their brushes on sort of like a clearance. So I picked up a few. Oh my gosh, I wish I hadn't waited. It's kind of like my grandparents used to say, there was quality in things, you know, sometimes that are priced a little bit more. But what's amazing is every single brush that we have in the line is double-ended. So even though you're kind of like investing maybe in what feels like a more expensive brush, if you compare to Shoppers or, I don't know, CVS or Vaughn's, I guess, in the States, and Amazon, is you're getting a far better quality brush. That's the word I was looking for. Distracted as I'm trying to blend. And they last, and they're also specifically made for cream, which of course most brushes, not all brushes, but most brushes are made for powders or like a liquid, which this is different. So really important when you're applying your contour along your hairline. Yeah, it's totally, the quality is an investment, but it's worth it. Especially, I know, Sheena, you work with high quality and safe products, and that's so important. So important that we use products that are healthy for our skin. I wish I'd started that a little bit more when I was younger, but you know, I think you get kind of caught up sometimes in the price tag and not really understanding kind of what this is doing, and everything on our skin, you know, goes into our body. It's so important that we look after it. If this year has taught us anything. Okay, so I'm gonna do the rest of that with the Beauty Blender. So this is just like Seint's Perfector Sponge is what we call it, but it's like a beauty blender. So I like it because I've used other sponges in the past and I don't like them. I don't know, I just have found that they're not, I don't know, they don't do what I want. And this I find does. This I find is gonna blend it out and be smooth and even. And I'm usually very, very happy with it. And I gotta look close for a sec. There. So you can see it just totally blends it, but without falling into the sort of like fine lines that us over 40 have. And so I like that. I like that it brightens up my eye. I like that it blends it out without sitting. I mean, the creams don't sit and settle, but I find sometimes, especially in the under eye area, because our skin is so sensitive and so thin there, if we apply a little bit too heavy and then brush, like you can end up with a little bit of texture. And I find that this just minimizes that totally. And then, you know, in the 40 land where you end up with some blemishes, you can go back in, and I use a little bit of a deeper shade than my base, and I'm just tapping in with like the tiny end, almost like a little paintbrush end on the multitasker brush, and it's just super, super helpful and just helps me get rid of anything I want to minimize without putting like, it's a one layer, like you didn't see me this and then this and then this and then this all on top. And so I think that's really important. Our skin doesn't need all that, nor do we want to do that. And I hated, that's why I didn't wear foundation all the time. If you know me in real life, I always wore like, I'd bounce between things like Estee Lauder, L'Oreal, Maybelline or whatever, and I would find something that I really liked as a concealer, and I would use that and then use bronzer and blush and definitely mascara and eyeshadow, but I didn't wear foundation unless I was going to a wedding or having photos done, and even then I was really, really picky because I found it's just too much, and I don't like the feel on my skin. And I'm obsessed with this because I really don't even feel like anything is on my skin. I feel like I have moisturizer on and that's it. And so to go around during the day and not feel like that kind of that cakey, that heavy feeling, I don't know if anybody that bugs, but dry, I can't stand that. So I think I was gonna put some blush on, but I think I'm just gonna go with some bronzer. So my favorite hack, if you have the Bella bronzer, which is in my opinion the best bronzer on the market, like period, because I don't know anything else that one shade looks good. I have seen it on very like rich, deep people of color, skin color, like just really lush, and then seen it on some of us that are quite pale. And I have a cousin who's like a redhead and very pale, and you know, we can all wear it. It's amazing how it works. But my favorite hack with it is to put it next to a cream illuminator and sort of blend them together. So this is Glow, which is sort of the brown sort of shade, and I like it because it just adds, like, look at that, just gonna add some color without clearly obsessed. And make sure you get your neck, ladies. Just come down. So you can do what you want with bronzer. You can even start bronzer before you apply your makeup. There's lots of ladies who use it to sort of warm up their skin and then put their sort of foundation or shades on. Really depends on your preference. And some people like go really, really heavy, like tanning bed. Some people add a little bit of glow. You do what you like. I think it's just important that you make sure that if you come along your hairline, you get up into your hairline so you don't have a line, because nobody needs that. And you remember that typically bronzer, right, is like when the sun hits. So it's coming down. So it's like forehead, maybe your nose, up on your cheeks, a little on your chin if you want, definitely your neck and chest, okay? Because you just want to make sure that you carry that. So because I'm feeling extra on this Monday morning, I'm gonna add a little bit more illuminator. And so this is like rose gold illuminator. I'm obsessed. It's right there. And it's not adding a ton of color. It's just adding a little bit of more glow, okay? Always on that side, isn't that funny? Does anybody have like a favorite side of your lip? It's like doing your mascara, like there's always something that kind of goes funny. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of Bella bronzer on my eyes. So I'm literally just tapping some on, and I could totally just keep doing it that way, but I'm gonna grab my smudge brush and just sort of blend that in. And then I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of powder illuminator. And right now I'm totally obsessed with Georgia, which is sort of like a rose gold shade. And actually I'm gonna use my finger because I'm not getting enough with the brush. So the nice thing about these powder illuminators, if you haven't tried one, is that they can be used as shadow or as an illuminator. There we go. Just a little glow on this Monday afternoon, and because it's like my ride or die, I can't not curl my lashes. And because I need an extra sip of coffee. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. And finally, we got some more sun again. It had been really beautiful. We had like a couple weeks of like exquisite weather. And then it kind of disappeared and we got rain, which it's the west coast of BC, that's what happens. So I can't really complain, but it's nice when the nice weather comes back, especially since we've still got quite a bit of restrictions here. In the last couple of weeks, it seems to keep like, gotta connect, gotta connect, gotta connect. And it's so weird because there's like today, there's less of us on. I have no idea why that's going on, but anyway. So the one thing I'm gonna do to finish, if I have my shadow brush, yes I do, is I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of oak. It's like a brown color, and I'm just gonna kind of touch it here on the ends and then blend it. And I want a little bit under here. This eyeshadow brush is so great. It's got so much control and I love it. It's like such a steal too. Just sort of blends out, but it just gives the eye just something without going over the top. Okay, but that's my favorite drawing. I never used to, because I found I don't even do mascara on my lower lashes because they're long, and I find when I do it they end up down here and sort of look like spiders and drive me crazy. I don't know, that's ridiculous, my own thing. Anyway, so I don't do that, but I found sometimes, unless was going to a wedding or something, maybe I would do like a little bit of eyeliner on my waterline, but I find using the tip of the eyeshadow brush and drawing a little bit of the color that I use on my eyes and draw it down, I just find it just adds that little bit of extra interest and is super fast and easy. So anyway, happy Monday afternoon, ladies. I hope you have a fabulous day. If you have any questions or you want to shop the colors I've used, my Linktree link has access to shop the store. Anything that I've used outside of the foundation, you can shop and fill your boots and enjoy that and pick some shades you like. If you're looking for a color match, then send me a message or comment here and I'll connect with you. And then I actually like look at your face makeup free, like how I shown up. You send me a photo and then I match shades to you specifically so that we get the right shades, so that when you're doing your makeup, you look like you just look evened out perhaps, and just sort of all blended, that we match your sort of neck and chest and your face, and the 3D colors, the 3 shades that I worked with, right? That comes together to give you a nice, beautiful base, as opposed to like one flat shade. So all that, happy Makeover Monday. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.